Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the Waves of Positivity hashtag Making Waves Roots to Righteous Character show, live on Radio Sira every month, exclusive for the community. We are Waves of Positivity, a community organisation with workshops, podcasts, radio shows, charities, you name it. We've got a special guest on today, Nav Musa. If you want to introduce yourself quickly.
You're absolutely, yeah, you're good.
All good, yes.
My name is Naveed Musa. Boxer, work for a behaviour school. That's about it, really. Nothing special yet.
So today's topic, we're going to be talking about New Life resolutions and why we do it at this time of the year instead of New Year's resolutions. Because we're getting close to the end of 2021, I presume a lot of people said that these last 2 years went so quick. Could you guys agree?
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah. Do you guys remember doing your last year's resolutions and the year before that, or we just sticking to New Life ones?
I don't really do New Year's resolutions like
Neither
that.
do I do New Life ones as well. So that's what we're going to discuss in this. It's going to be a very controversial topic, but with a positive twist to it, rather than slating New Year's resolutions, if that makes sense. So I just want to go through a few examples of resolutions that people make for themselves, or the typical cliche ones that people make. We'll give a couple points each, and then we can take it from there. So I'll probably say first one is a meme, is the gym. Like 1st of January, the whole week, you will just see the gyms completely full, like rammed. you like 6 people on one bench. That's because people set that resolution according to the year of January the 1st, and then
basically the gym is the no-go zone until them guys leave.
Yeah, work out from home is the motto when it comes
that
to
only lasts for a week, doesn't it? When the New Year's resolution, people are like, New Year, New Me, I'm going to be hitting the gym. One weekend, that's it, they give up. You just got to stick to it.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
That's why, if I was to, instead of New Year's resolution, I'd just do it the next day. If I want to start something, I'll start tomorrow.
Exactly, and that's what we want to. But that's exactly what we want to tap into. Even finances, like a lot of people say, "Oh, this year I'm going to become rich," but they don't talk about. Like they focus so much on that, but they don't talk about the bad habits of how they spend, or how they spend more than their means, or they don't track their finances, stuff like that. Do you guys have any other examples with regards to New Year's resolutions that people make, typical cliche ones?
Obviously, the typical ones is gym. People doing a bucket list. That's another thing. People planning on holidays. How much money they want to save. That's why really.
Give up smoking, bro.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah,
that's the biggest one.
Smoking
this year, I shall give up smoking.
And all the vape shops make a crazy revenue that first month as well.
That's sick. That's a good idea, because a lot of these New Year's resolutions come down to like who's going to benefit from them. I think that's the reason New Year's resolutions started.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to get too started into that just yet.
Yeah.
I'll wait.
Yeah. I mean,
giving up smoking.
Shall I leave you the spotlight? Are you going to talk about anything to do with Romans and them worshipping their gods? Are you?
No, I'm
okay,
not.
Cool.
I don't know anything about that.
So New Year's resolutions actually did come about around that time. It probably lasted longer before that, but a lot of Romans said they'd pay off their debt or pay their gods like money and stuff like that at the beginning of each year. So when you look into history of stuff, you actually think about where it all started. But it's not just Romans, there's so many more, and it's pretty crazy. Moving on from there then, you did mention one thing, bucket lists. I'm not going to lie, I'm one of those. Because it's like, because you know what, I make bucket lists, but it's also like, okay, because the thing is, I wouldn't really call it a resolution, because a bucket list is something that you should be planning throughout the year, because it's like, okay, this year I'm going to this holiday, so I can do this bucket list, for example. Let's do my one, for example. I want to do scuba diving, and get my license for it. I can't plan that this year because it's December. No one's going to be diving in the ocean this time of the year. So
unless you've got a death wish.
Unless you've got a death wish. Or your SA Health Games.
Who's that man on Instagram that runs and does stuff in the snow?
David Goggins, you talk about Iceman.
He just dives in the ice.
Yeah, it's David
Crazy,
Goggins,
man.
is the Iceman, the guy from Finland or Norway or one of the Icelandic countries.
Exactly. Do you guys? So just another on the topic of bucket lists. Have you guys got any top 3 for next year?
Do you know what? You know with the bucket list, right?
Top 3 though, yeah.
I've started a bucket list for the past 5 years, and then every year I'd add one thing on. But alhamdulillah, like ticked off quite a few stuff on the bucket list. For example, working abroad was like one of the main thing. Want to do skydiving. Not picked that off yet.
Where do you want to do that?
I love to do it at Palm Island, man.
Yeah, Dubai.
Dubai. Yeah. I was meant to do one before. I think there was a charity one. I don't know if it was Peterborough somewhere.
Yeah.
But I didn't get.
There's loads in the
it.
UK. There's loads, but then.
But you rather do it with a nice view, innit? You know what I mean? Keep your mind off of it. Just enjoy the view, and then just some dead view in UK.
Hey, the UK looks nice though.
Cornwall. I did Cornwall.
Yeah, I was gonna say Cornwall's sick.
Or Scotland.
Alright, go on. What's your third one? You say
third one.
Skydiving, working abroad.
Don't know if I've got it on my notes.
Come on, you got it in your heart, man. When it's your bucket list, it's in your heart.
Oh, go on. Tell us. Are you fighting Jake Paul?
I'd love to, man. I'd love to spark him out and kick him out.
Hey, this is going on TikTok.
Yeah.
Now Bruce are calling out.
You have to add some as well,
Come on.
Okay.
I'll have to think.
You think about it. Get back to us later. More time. I do.
Alright, my top three. Yeah. Next year, I want to go visit Bali or Thailand.
Nice.
That's one. Gotta do that on my honeymoon, inshallah. Second one, I wanna ideally go abroad with the boys. I've done it before, but I wanna do it like lockdown has made this feel like I've never done it.
I'm sure we're planning for the year after though, no?
Inshallah, but no, I want to try one more next year. Inshallah.
Let's hope.
Even if it's France, even if it's like Italy for a day or something, bro, we'll go in with the boys. And the third one, skydiving. I'm getting that done next year.
You two might as well do it together.
Yeah.
Plan it, man. Oh yeah, that's it. I'll figure out my other bucket list, Tokyo.
So that's what we're actually planning to do 2023, inshallah.
2023, inshallah.
Just want to see all the anime stuff, and they're like 10 years ahead.
That's one out of the 1,000 things that you have there.
They're 10 years ahead. I say world. Japan, Tokyo are like 10 years advanced from everyone else.
Complete
Naruto.
Yeah, I'm a Dragon Ball Z guy. I mean, Goku.
I ain't gonna lie, I don't watch any anime, but I rate it. You know, one day I'll get into it. What's your? Have you remembered what your other bucket list was?
It was Tokyo.
Okay.
Yeah, when you was talking about holidays, that's what came into my head. Tokyo.
Cool. Awesome.
What's yours?
Me was scuba diving, definitely. So next year I've got my starting course. After that I'm going to do the full course, get my full license, so I can scuba dive wherever I want in the world without like any instructor and stuff like that. I love the underwater world. It's just a different world, mashallah. So that's one. Japan is another one. It's not next year, but it's there. Third one is past my mind. I'd probably say
Paris with the boys.
Paris with the boys. It is. Paris with the boys. It is. I do. Thank you.
We're speaking into existence.
Thank you. Let's do it. Maybe watch Messi and Neymar as well. You know, if they're still there.
Inshallah.
So okay, moving on now. So we've done the fun part, talking about bucket lists. I want to talk about New Year's resolutions again and going back to it without slating it, without making people feel bad. Especially that there's probably people listening to this right now that might have made a list of about 100 things they're going to do, and we don't want to put them down. But I want your lot's personal opinions through experiences as well on if you think these New Year's resolutions actually work. It doesn't mean it has to work for other people. I'm talking about yourself. If you've done it ever in the past, and has it ever worked? Starting with you, Nav Musa.
Well, I say it's 50-50 New Year's resolution. You can either plan your New Year's resolution and stick to it, or do it partly and just fall off. But I prefer to stick to it, see the results, and if I fall off, I fall off. But as long as I see the results and complete that New Year's resolution, I'm fine with it.
Awesome.
Rather see the results.
Do you have an example of that?
For example, like
okay, can you give an example of something you have that? Okay, losing weight is one that you've done. And do you have another example of something that you tried and it didn't work? So let's go with the losing weight thing. So how did you get into it? Mindset, like.
You know what? Saving money, man.
Yeah, that didn't work.
Yeah, because it's just random stuff just happens all the time. You save, for example, £1,000, and then something happens. For example, your car. You know I
think we can all relate to that.
And that's
Cars always catch you by surprise.
It just brings you that. It's up and down. So I just thought, do you know what? I'm not going to count that as a New Year's resolution anymore, because money just comes and goes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, that's my example.
And you'd probably say that's more of a life resolution now that you're going to do something.
This year I'm going to save £10,000. That didn't happen.
Yeah, but then again, at least you made the intention, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Your weight loss.
Yeah.
First thing I said to you when I bumped into you today is that you lost weight, mashallah. Okay, so that was something you set yourself last year.
Yeah, I did. I was a bit demotivated last year because of lockdown. I was meant to have a fight prior 2 years. When did lockdown start? 2 years ago, didn't it? Like proper
March
COVID.
2020.
Feels like feel like it was yesterday.
It's almost going to be 2 years.
Yeah, so I was meant to have a fight, and then that's it. COVID came, just lost track, started putting weight on. Still started. It was training in lockdown. I was losing weight here and there, but
You're not the only
consistent.
one. You're not the only one.
But then I found a new passion though. During 2020, I thought, you know what, I'm gonna look for a new career. I'll be a boxing coach instead. And then I've stuck to it, and alhamdulillah, I kept going. I was doing my PTs, doing pads with people, helping out boxing clubs, and then all of a sudden, I didn't even look out for it. A guy, a brother called Zishan Khan, he's helped me a lot. He found me a place called Knockout Fight Academy, and they needed a boxing coach. So I was more than happy to be the lead coach, and that's it. I think I started that in August. So that's like accomplishment, really.
Alhamdulillah.
Smashing it. Adil,
Yeah.
what has worked for you? What hasn't worked for you?
Alright, so it's going to sound like I'm slating it, but I've got a very negative opinion of New Year's resolutions, and I'll tell you one reason why.
Go for it.
Now, you can see the positives in it, but we're literally trying to dissect and see whether they're useful at all. The way I think of it is, why do you need a New Year's resolution to start on something that you want now? Why do you need to wait until a later date to do something that you desire?
Yeah, for that as well.
I feel like it's an easy way out. It's a cop out. You see, it's like, think of it this way, yeah. You're at school. You already missed your deadline. Teacher's asking you, "Where's your homework?" You're like, "Give me another month." That month comes. They ask, "Where's the homework?" Give me another month. Yeah, you're asking for an extension on important things in your life. Really and truly, if you want to do something, do it now. That's when the results start, because it's only a flickering moment of intensity comes where you're like, I really should lose weight. Because you don't always think, I need to lose weight. It comes to a sudden moment where you're out with your friends and you notice you're the only one that looks fat in the picture. Or you're the only one that doesn't look good. And you're thinking, I need to lose weight. And then you're like, you know what? I'll wait until January the 1st. What's so special about January the 1st? It's just a number and a date. Realistically,
It's not even the
December
first date of the year because everyone has different calendars.
100% agree with
that
that.
December 31st, 2020 and January 1st, 2021, there's no difference other than on the paper it's a different date.
Yeah,
Realistically, it's just another day.
Yeah.
And at any moment your life can go, so why delay things until later on? And the best way for me to really make it hit home with people is, you've got your mum and your dad right now, yeah? Let's say you've had an argument with them and you're thinking, you know what, I intend to make things right tomorrow. Tomorrow they're not there. Same thing can happen to you in your life. You're like, I want to lose weight tomorrow. I want to quit smoking tomorrow. Or for my family, my kids, my wife, I'm going to make it up to them. I'm going to be fit and healthy. And then you wait until January 1st, and what if you're gone before then?
Yeah.
What if that last
You'd
cigarette
rather
comes?
start now before
Facts.
regretting it.
Exactly.
You'd rather be head start. Be a head start before everyone else. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Right, achieve your goals before anyone else. That's the mindset. You
Yeah, yeah, and for yourself
That's
mainly.
Exactly.
I feel like New Year's resolutions boost procrastination. Like it makes you lazy. It makes you lazy intentionally, without sounding toxic, especially masculinity wise. Like if you have to wait for a date, or you have to let time, a year, a place, or something external or third party change the way you think and do something, you're not strong enough. You're not strong enough to do something yourself. You're not strong enough to be independent. You're not independent. You're dependent. Your whole life is dependent on a number. But at the same time, if you've been a bum your whole life, and a New Year's resolution is something that will change you, there's that side to it as well, which is what I wanted to point out. Is they work and they don't work. It depends on what you choose to do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's 50-50, isn't it?
Yeah, it depends what you choose to do.
Yeah.
Like for me, today, if I make a plan to do something, it's not going to start in January, it's going to start now. And that habit is going to keep going on. And yeah, I do make goals for next year, but I don't call them resolutions, I call them growth. Because last year,
100%.
this year, the year before, I was working on that, and it's building and building and building and building. And you just use the year as an example, as a reference. In 2021, I've done this, but it doesn't mean it's your New Year's resolutions. It's your new life resolutions. So that's my 2 pence within that.
I've got extension to
Please,
say. Like, you
please.
just got me riled up, man.
Please, man.
I'm riled up. Alright, so I've been I've got these goals in my life here that I want to stop certain actions, certain habits. So one of my habits is listening and over-consuming music. I rely on it to help improve my concentration and my mood, or to get in a zone. Everyone's got things that get them in the zone, right? So mine was music. I've been weaning myself off of it very, very gradually. And I was listening to a podcast because of this, because now I've got to find something to replace it with, something that's going to educate, add value. So I was listening to Impact Theory, Tom Bilyeu. Sonny knows how much I love that podcast. I tell him about it all the time. It's one of my favourite podcasts.
Impact Theory is amazing. It came as my top 5 listening podcasts of 2021.
So good, man. The guests he brings on. That's how I aspire for the Ways of Positivity podcast to be, inshallah. He had so much value. Anyway, he had a guest on, and this guest is basically a life coach and a mentor for big sports athletes. So kind of what you do, you're a boxing coach at the moment, but he's a mindset coach for athletes in the NFL, NBA, etc. And he said to create a habit and to make it a habit isn't 21 days, isn't 3 months. It's easily 9 to 12 months, because the moment you wean off something, you're just kind of getting it out of your system. But it takes a longer time for your mind to forget about it and for the withdrawals to be removed. And that's the thing with New Year's resolutions, right? You expect in a day, I'm going to stop doing something, and it's not going to work realistically. You can't just stop smoking on January the 1st.
It's gradual.
There's some success stories, but it's very minimal, and it's not going to work for the average Joe. So I recommend everyone, like, you got a resolution, you got a goal, you got an aim. Look in the psychology behind it. look at the facts of the matter, and think, all right, do you know what? Yeah, resolutions are cool, and yeah, everyone's got one, and it's a hype train, and it's a big gas. But when it comes around, science is going to tell you, you're just setting yourself up for failure. If you genuinely want something, you're going to go out, you're going to research it, and you're going to do your due diligence. And you're going to research how to actually get off something. Yeah?
Facts.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm
It's
ranting.
lovely because it pushed us right into the next segment as well, which is when should we start implementing these new years or life resolutions? So thank you, Adil, for going on an extension, because it's pushed us right into that. When? We've done why, we've done what, we've done how's it good, how's it bad. Now it's like when. I'm going to give you guys an example, and you're both going to give me answers for this. I'm not going to pretend my name is someone else. I'm saying I'm Sully, yeah? I'm going to tell you guys that next year I'm going to be so disciplined that I'm only going to have 1 cheat meal a week. I already do, but I'm just giving myself an example so it doesn't put anyone else down. But I want to have 1 cheat meal a week from January the 1st, guys, yeah? That from that week, I'm going to start having 1 cheat meal a week. Right now I have 3, yeah? I'm lying.
That's a lot of cheat meals. That's not even a diet, bro.
I wish I could. I mean, I know, but just for the listeners' sake.
Okay, alright. I thought you were coming out with home truth right now.
No truth. I have to give a realistic example, because I know people that have 3 cheat meals a week. So more.
It depends. They're guys with fast metabolisms, isn't it?
It doesn't matter what they are, bro. Still bad, man. Yeah. So anyway, back to topic. I want to start doing this from January the 1st. Bearing in mind, tonight after this radio show, I'm going to go get myself another cheat meal. What would you say, Nav? What would you say? When should I start to implement that?
Start today, man. Start today or tomorrow.
Why today and why tomorrow? So why was your answer today and why is your answer tomorrow? Give 2 scenarios.
Right? The cheat meals. Say, for example, the cheat meal's not helping right now. You're doing 3 cheat meals, right? You're still putting on a lot of weight on. If you start now, you'll see the results quicker. That's what you want. You want results.
And what about
as soon
tomorrow?
As possible.
You said tomorrow. Were you giving me like?
Today is basically what time's it? What time's it right now? It's like
7:40.
Yeah. Because you can go to sleep anyway. You're not gonna have. Well, you gonna have a meal after this?
Okay, in this scenario, yeah. I'm gonna have a meal after this. Yeah.
I just do you know what I just say today? Start today.
I would as well.
Just start.
I'd be like, listen, if you're telling me your life resolutions and you're saying January 1st about something that's serious as well, get started now, because you are not starting January 1st. Not to sound pessimistic, like I'm telling you realism. Like, okay, you might actually do it, but for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks at most. Okay, a month, but you'll be back at it. It takes you that 1 time where you don't make your own food, you don't eat healthy, you're like, forget it. I can just, I've done so good because since January the 1st, I've been keeping up to my schedule and my habits. Let me treat myself to 2 cheat meals this week. Let me just go back to my old habits for 1 week, and it'll just go down. It'll just go downhill.
You need consistency.
I do. What would you say?
Genuinely, if you're asking me, I would ideally recommend someone to do something when they are in the right mindset to execute. So say, for example, I'm using your scenario, someone's looking to ideally lose weight. The first thing I'll do is I'd start straight away, but I wouldn't tell them to do anything too hasty just yet. The ideal thing is do your research. Find out exactly how unhealthy your meals currently have been. Do you know what? It could be a situation where 3 cheat meals a week at the moment could still be a deficit for you and you could still lose weight on that. Like, if I'm to go into the deep end of things, like, nothing's as simple as, oh, you know what? Start now, start tomorrow, start whenever. You know what? Yeah, start today. Doing some sort of progress is starting today, yeah?
Well, yeah.
Alright, so say, for example, yeah, this guy here, he's saying you're having 3 cheat meals. I'll tell him, first, reduce yourself down to 2. Then reduce yourself down to 1. Then reduce yourself down to 1 a week, 1 every 2 weeks, 1 every 3 weeks, 1 every 4 weeks. And you're going to see results. But yeah, start today. It's always better to start today, because health is always there today. And if you're looking to be successful at something, successful people don't start tomorrow. They don't start a month later. Successful people start straight away because that's what makes them successful. They want things straight away.
Awesome, I love that. So you're pretty much on mine and Nav's side for this.
Yeah, but do you know what? Do you know when it comes down to things like this? I don't find it as simple as just saying yes or no. I think it takes a bit more than that.
Gradual.
And if the listeners are listening today, it's not like, all right, you should start today. It's saying, why should you start today? And how exactly should you start today? If it was me, I'd start today, but not an immediate stop. I'd start, but I'd do it gradually.
Same with smoking, isn't it? Because a smoker can't stop smoking straight away. They have to gradually. That's how it works for them anyways.
Yeah.
For example, if they're smoking a pack a day, I don't know whoever smokes
20, 30 people smoke 20, 30.
People, you know, how much is it? 20 in a pack?
20, yeah, and then
So
you
yeah,
have...
if you, for example, like a pack's of 20, if you want to gradually start having 15, then after 2 weeks or 1 week, go down to 10, and then 5, and then 1, and that's
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? We made a video, I think in our first year of Ways of Positivity, in Vicky Park in the ramp. Was it on the ramp? Yeah, like the ramp.
Oh yes.
We made a video. We made a video, like we used to do like these motivational stand-up kind of videos before we started doing podcasts. This was back at our early stages.
Amateur days.
We're gonna get back on them. Not
Yeah,
amateur,
man.
but we're gonna get back on them.
Yeah.
We're gonna start making them cinematic.
Yeah,
And
man.
we're
They
gonna
were good,
have
they were
Soy
good.
doing some bench press and Nav doing some skipping and boxing. You know what I mean? We're gonna get into it.
Gotta do it. So we made a video called New Year's Resolutions, and we crossed out the year and turned it into life. That's why I've renamed it this, the same word. So it's like, don't want anything to change. And it's funny because 2 years later, well, it was 19, 20, no, 3 years later. Bloody, time's gone. 3 years later, we make a video on a radio show talking about the same thing. And I mentioned literally, it's not about stopping smoking, it's about stopping 50 a day and turning that into 10 a day. Do you know what I mean? And then next year maybe you can do that. And if it works for you, then New Year's resolutions work for you, but it will become a habit that you can make a change at a certain date. You will do it sometime in the quarter, sometime half throughout the year. So obviously dozen months, so you're not going to just do things year by year. I definitely don't. I never do things year by year. As I said, unless it's bucket list or I've got something planned for the next year, then yeah, of course I'm going to talk about the year because that's facts, isn't it? But if it's habits, stopping my bad habits, it's going to be from now or as soon as I can. And even if I fail, I'll go back to it, man. Like if I really want it that bad, I'll go and I'll stop that.
Do you know, even realistically, if you think about it, success is small changes.
Incremental value.
Exactly, yeah. It's the micro in the macro.
Sorry, I've got another example, right?
Please.
I broke my foot 15 weeks ago, and before I was on it with gym, like I was sick, like I was religiously on it with gym. I was seeing myself get in shape, and then broke my foot. And then after I broke my foot, I was literally like depressed because I could not drive. I couldn't go out with my mates. I was just literally indoors as well, and I got ill as well. And I started seeing like your skin's not that great.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I healed myself, because this was during September, I could have easily said, right, I broke my foot, and we're only 3-4 months away from next year. I could have easily said, right, I'm only going to wait next year. But I thought, nah, forget that. I'll start today. As soon as my foot is repaired, I'm starting now. That's how you got to keep it, man.
That's exactly how you want it, man.
Yeah.
Fact us. That's my new saying, by the way. Fact us, like Cristiano Ronaldo, yeah.
Just missing potato, you know what I mean?
Cristiano Ronaldo, yeah.
What's
Elite
that?
athlete.
Ronaldo, man. So
So I had to say it, man. So I had to say
there's
it.
a guy I think he got banned in the gym because he's kept every race was like shoo.
Oh, it was the gym, yeah. I think I've seen that. I don't know how
He got a
fabricated that
message
was.
from the gym or Pure Gym or something.
Yeah. I've seen that. It was
He
so
got
funny.
complaints.
But again, it's fabricated. You can't believe it. I mean, it's unlikely they're going to email someone like, oh, you can't see
Yeah, I
this.
know.
You know what I mean? But yeah, any of you guys, I know it's very off topic, it's just to keep the audience awake and make sure they're not falling asleep to what we're talking about. Any of you guys watching Spider-Man
Oh yeah.
this week?
Got my tickets patterned.
Yeah, I do.
Astaghfirullah, I don't do them things.
Alright, well mine's tomorrow hopefully.
Yeah,
But yeah, man, love our superheroes. They're a good example. They don't come out as superheroes on January the 1st. They come out as
yeah.
superheroes any time of the year.
Exactly.
You name it,
Immediately.
immediately.
Who would you say forget like normal superhero? Who'd say is your superhero?
In reality,
So, like, reality, yeah.
like a role model.
Yeah, you can say.
Role
yeah,
model,
role model,
definitely
yeah.
Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, like
Yeah.
that's no doubt. We always mention it, like alhamdulillah, we mention it in so
Yeah,
many shows.
Exactly.
We all aspire to be like him. We love the Prophet, but we don't have the Sunnah, so we need to adopt
Yeah.
that Sunnah, inshallah. But
So,
CR7, it is a hard one. No, it literally is a hard one. I like.
Well, you can say CR7 in terms of like
In terms
he's
of,
very dedicated. He's never off.
yeah.
He's always focused. That's why he's 37 or something.
Yeah,
and he's
37.
playing much better than these young athletes saying, "Oh yeah, then they're the next Ronaldo or Messi." For example, like Mbappe or Neymar, they were saying they're the next generation, or they'll overcome Ronaldo and Messi's ratings or something.
Whether they do or not, we're talking about present.
He's
Yeah,
doing better than them.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they have that mindset.
Exactly. I already asked this question on the live, so we won't mention it again. Because I literally remember I asked you. This is one of the questions I asked you in the live when you had it.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go through a few Instagram answers that we had. I basically put this up on our Waves of Positivity story. Just gonna plug it now at Waves of Positivity official. Check us out. So I put this on whenever we do a radio show. I like to do a quick question thing where people, our community, can give their 2 pence. So let's do the first one. Is Aisha. She basically said, I should see that, by the way. She said, Allah plans and He is the greatest of planners. We may plan, but sometimes it doesn't go the way we want it to be planned towards. The question I put in the story was, do New Year's resolutions work for you and why? Which we have already discussed, but I want to get other people's opinions because it matters as much as ours. So what do you guys have to say about that? Like, subhanAllah, like that's a religious perspective to it, a very spiritual perspective to it. But I want to hear what you guys have to say. I'll start with Nav. So Aisha basically said that her opinion on New Year's resolutions is that no matter what we do, no matter what we plan, God plans better for us anyway, regardless if it's one way of attaining something or one way of getting rid of something.
Yeah, 100%. For example, like prayer counts, you know what I mean? When you make your dua, ask Allah for obviously positivity, and it can really happen any time, innit? He plans it for you when it's the right time for you to achieve your goal or whatever you want in life, really.
Facts. Adu?
Strong views on this, but it's stated as well in hadith that you can change your reality with the power of dua. So obviously Allah plans and He's the best of planners, but if you really want something, your duas can change that reality, like I was saying.
Because it's from the same source.
Literally, because Allah's got a plan for you, but that reality and that plan can be diverted based on your duas and whether Allah thinks, you know what, it works. So realistically, yes, she's correct, but at the same time, don't just go with the flow and just wait and be patient. Also put in urgency. It's said in Islam, you put in urgency with what you want. As Muslims, as long as you're not going against Islam, you can go and do whatever you want. You think about it, Uthman radiallahu anhu was one of the richest men alive, and if his wealth was to be put into the modern day terms, he'd be a billionaire.
That's crazy.
If you think about that, what's holding us back? If your goal is to become wealthy, you're allowed to be wealthy. Uthman radiallahu anhu was wealthy.
Yeah.
Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam could have been the richest man in the world. Allah asked him, if you want wealth, I'll give it to you. He said no, because that's more for me to answer for. But yeah, the du'as can change, so don't just go with the flow and say Allah's the best of planners. Alhamdulillah, he is the best of planners, but put urgency and go for what you're going for.
Definitely should. So we got Adina. Thanks so much, Adina. She's so loyal when it comes to these questions. She's always answering.
Sorry guys, but talking about du'as, inshallah I'm going Umrah 24th, so guys, whoever's listening out there, make dua.
Make dua.
Make dua for me, bro.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, make dua for me, bro.
Make plenty of dua for everyone who's
No, you're lucky.
For duas.
You're lucky that
I want my name
Where's my
mentioned.
FaceTime?
yeah, FaceTime me, man. You know what I'm saying? So we got Adina. Yeah, she said. So again, back to the question was, does New Year's resolutions work for you as a person? She says, no, personally, I don't think you need to start hitting goals just because it's a new year, a new week, etc. It's all about self accountability, determination, and drive. You'd achieve goals if you really want. Sound like Dwayne Johnson there.
Yeah, listen, can we get a sue for that?
Have you seen the word like inshallah?
Inshallah.
Oh, I ain't had that one yet, but send it to me, bro. No,
It's so funny, bro. That was original.
Is it?
Yeah.
He's like on live Instagram with his.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I thought you said someone done that.
No.
Yeah, he done it. It was with Kabir, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. But yeah, accountability, determination, definitely. It's like what I mentioned earlier. It boosts procrastination. If you're not accountable, and I said to you, not strong enough to set your own goals if you're relying on the year, January 1st. So, how accountable are you if you're like, that's it, tomorrow I'm doing it, or right now I'm doing it? You're really accountable for what you do. You've got a lot of responsibility, and you've got a lot of determination. And you know what, even if you don't have any of those character traits, this is the time for you to work on it. This is the time for you to start. Everyone starts from somewhere, man. Do you think me and Adu were always positive? Of course we are. Alhamdulillah, we're always positive people. But that negative side or that pessimistic side was there. But then there's ways to get it out of there. Speaking for myself, no longer speaking for Adu. He's always been an angel, mashallah. But it is. It's one of those things. You start from somewhere, you know. So, do you guys have anything to add to that?
I ain't gonna lie, she put it perfectly, man.
Not really.
Yeah.
Let's speak.
We've got one from
so far.
amazing. We got one from Kamisha A. She said, for a while, yes, but like everything else in life, it eventually dies.
That was just a man. That was just a roast.
Factos. I think that's a very realistic scenario to it. But also, it is probably from experience that it might not have worked out for that person as well.
Yeah.
That's where they see it from that perspective.
I guarantee it hasn't worked out for most people.
Most people, even me. Yeah, even me, things haven't happened. So I can agree with that at some extent.
Life is literally trial and error, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's literally trial and error.
Yeah.
Some things work, something doesn't.
Yeah. I feel like it's like a game of averages, yeah? So Hush says, in everything, like everything else in life, it dies. So let's say you had 10 things that you want to do for New Year's resolutions. Out of those 10 things, realistically, 2 of them will stay with you forever. So it has worked, but it hasn't worked. How you're saying earlier, 50-50, let's say 70-20, whatever you name it. Or 70-30, sorry, not 70-20. But, you know, like, that's a plain example there.
100%.
You know, of something, having intention to do something, but 8 of them die, 8 of them go away, you'll never go back to that again. But 2 of them stuck with you forever, and the next year it grows and grows and grows and grows, and you keep renewing that resolution. We've got one from Wahida. She says, it doesn't work because you're only motivated as everyone else is motivated. Once the peak ends for everyone else, it will end for you too. You are better off making the changes in your life based on your own motivation at the time. Why wait for the new year?
That's what I was saying earlier, wasn't it?
Like literally, why wait for the new year? And you're better off making the changes in your life based on your own motivation at the time. That's literally like she's spoken what we've been saying as well. She's voiced it out, and we voiced it out as well here. It's like, why, when I was telling you, giving myself a fake scenario saying I'm going to quit these 3 cheat meals a week, why am I telling you I'm going to start on January the 1st when my motivation is right?
They weren't fake scenarios. That was 100% real.
Oh, can you tell?
He is currently eating 3 cheat
growing
meals.
into a potato, man. If you keep doing 3 cheat meals until New Year's.
I might do.
You will look like Sully.
Great advertisement there, bro. But definitely, like motivation ain't going to last forever. It's drive that does. It's about drive. It's about you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's that motivation's there, and that will kick up a drive. long term. That motivation, short term, drive is long term. If you don't act upon that motivation, that you get that little bit of dopamine that you get at that moment of time, that's it. I'm going to hit that up right now. You're not going to do that long term.
Yeah.
It's very unlikely. I'm not here to sound pessimistic. I'm not here to put anyone down that's made goals or about to make goals. But that's literally what it is. And those are the answers we've had today. Alhamdulillah, good 5 inputs there. I just want to actually brush up on one thing, because in 2019, November, me, Adil and SA, we done our Waves of Positivity workshop, our first ever one actually, at University of Leicester, and we spoke about like life goals, making life goals. 2020 and planning, like that was my part. Adil's part was talking. What were you talking about in your part in that workshop?
I was talking about implementing a way in which you can achieve those goals.
No, I remember that. And I was doing stuff like we're gonna go into 2020 now, guys. Little did we know how the life would change, but we done SA done bucket lists. I was speaking about like, you're here making new goals for next year, but have you even completed the goals you made for this year? So what are you doing with those? What things are pulling you down from getting to those goals? So we done a lot of planning. Like we literally made them plan out. Like
that's what I was saying about bucket list. For example, I've been sticking to a bucket list I've properly started 5 years ago. So every year I'll add one, but I still try to complete
those other
my past
ones.
one,
Yeah.
I won't like scrap the other ones and do a brand new one. You know what I mean?
Completely agree. It's like the scuba diving one. Yeah.
But just keep hitting it. Just keep moving forward. And just keep hitting it.
It's like my scuba diving license. I've been banging on about that for so long. I've not done it yet, but it's still there.
Yeah.
I'm still mentioning it. I'm still going to do it. I've still booked it in. Do you know what I mean? It's still there, inshallah. So it's there. It just needs to be accomplished.
Or you swimming with sharks.
I want to be, sharks, stingrays, whales. I've done dolphins and turtles before, but I want to go more towards sharks and stuff.
I've swum with dolphins once.
Yeah, amazing, like
good,
wild ones.
wicked,
Yeah, but that's not. I've done more snorkeling.
But
That's more snorkeling. So you're at the surface. I'm doing scuba diving where you go.
Very sensitive dolphins, their skin.
Yeah.
So you gotta be very.
And wherever there's dolphins, there's sharks. So you know.
But the dolphins knock out the sharks. It's cool.
Yeah, they'll back us. But shipwrecks, like crash planes in the water, all that stuff. It really.
Have you seen that thing about Titanic? So apparently, to go see the Titanic, it costs 100 grand.
Well,
scuba down to Titanic.
Well, you best believe that I'm hiring a £2,000 boat and I'm diving in. But moving on from there, then I think this is kind of, before concluding the whole show, it's actually more of a life lesson and something that we can learn from Islamic perspective, evil eye perspective, what you show to others, what you don't show to others, jealousy, your circle, your crowd, blah blah blah, is who to share your plans and ideas with. Of your New Year's or new life resolutions. I know so many of us have got plans to get married. Alhamdulillah, I've accomplished mine. But for you guys, plans to get married, for people plan to get a kid, new job, high-paying business, whatever it is, you've got these plans and they're working and you're getting there. But who do you tell? Nav.
Do you know what? At the start, I keep it within myself, and then I actually share it with family first. Because your family is your number one supporter.
Mm-hmm.
You might share it with friends, but sometimes it depends. If some friends, right, you'll have genuine friends, and they have some friends that has that bit of jealousy.
Yeah.
They don't mean bad upon you, but
it's a natural instinct.
Jealous,
it's a natural instinct, first instinct.
Yeah. Like, oh my god, like, oh, he's doing this now,
and
I'm still a bit behind.
Yeah, I understand. What about you,
Adil? Personally, it's never share it with anyone except for Allah.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're ready to share it with people, make sure it's 100% there, like it's done.
Yeah.
Don't share stuff that you wouldn't want to lose.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
the moment you share it, you've lost it. That's even Islamically said. You share your good news with Allah, then you share it with people. Once it's done and it's official, then you share it with your close ones and your loved ones. Because let's be honest, say you go tell your pops, Dad, I've made £1 million, or I've got a deal to make £1 million. Say you make this banging website for Rolls Royce, you're paying you £1 million for the project, and before you even finish or you even got the job, you're like, yo, let me go tell my family. And let's just say you tell your closest and your best friend, and then inside he's gonna have a bit of jealousy. Yo, my brother's getting £1 million and I'm not getting £1 million.
Yeah, it's natural instinct.
I wouldn't say it's natural instinct.
First instinct depends on it, but
it depends on the person.
Yeah.
If a person is prone to getting jealous, that's the first instinct.
Yeah.
But if it's a person that's genuinely always happy and
we've spoken about this in the jealousy show before. We said that
I want to get into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't share with anyone until it's done.
It'll get rattled again.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll
Facts.
rant again.
I feel like, you know what else it is, it depends on who you hang around with. You know what, let alone telling people what you're going to do. If you're hanging around with bumps and they, you know, how are you telling them these massive goals? They don't care. They don't have the same aspirations. So why are you chilling with them? Why are you hanging around with them?
Exactly.
You are what the 4 people around you are. Do you know what I mean? That's
Chilling around with
literally.
people that have ambitions
Yeah,
and goals and always thinking ahead.
Definitely.
Positive.
Or even if you chill with them, that's fine. But don't share those goals with them. They're not going to match your energy.
100%.
When you tell them, it's going to be like, man, everyone does that. There's going to be some negative side to it. That's saturated. Oh,
Especially
why would
the
you
jokes,
do
when people make jokes.
that? Digs. I call them digs.
You call them digs, yeah.
Because they're not really jokes. They're digs.
Yeah, they are exactly 100%.
You know?
You gotta watch out for that.
Yeah, definitely. But that's probably what I wanted to discuss in terms of who you tell.
2021, I'm like, it's opened my eyes completely. Like, opened my eyes a bit. As is, opened half of it last year, but it's opened my eyes completely fully this year. And since I've been
called maturity.
keeping up, yeah, that's what it is, being mature. And now that I've been, you know, just avoiding toxic people and just thinking ahead, keeping positive, alhamdulillah, man, life's just been flowing.
Alhamdulillah.
Been hanging around with good people. Just like my day-to-day life, right? It's just a typical go work, spend time with the kids, bring positivity into their lives, and then go home for about 30 minutes, see the family, and then go to my boxing gym and help more people.
Yeah, you've been doing bits, by the way, mashallah, man. And just
it,
actually a recap for anyone wondering why we got Nav onto the show, mashallah, like, he's really inspirational in the community. He's a good friend of ours. We've done a live show with him on Waves of Positivity on our page. We do lives like every 2 weeks. And also he joined us on our mine and Adil's excruciating pain of 26 miles fasted walk. But he joined us on one of the training days.
That gives me
18 miles that was still though.
That was
I still
18
remember
miles.
that thigh chafing, man.
No, it wasn't 18 miles, it's 13.
Oh, 13
It was our
miles.
first ever
Oh my
one, or
God.
second ever
I was
one.
limping after
It was
that.
the one before the rainy day.
Yeah.
So it was our first one, and it was hot that day. We were walking.
I thought it was gonna be.
It was
easy,
good,
man.
but Nav was but you're good. You're
I
good
told you
vibes. At least you want. Do you know what I mean? Like it's very risky when someone's like, "Can I join you guys?"
Yeah.
And when you know the person, you know they're positive. Like, yeah, come.
Yeah.
But if you know they're not, you know they might not hack it. We didn't want someone saying to me that, "Oh, this is long. How are you guys gonna do it?"
Our messages are mental.
I'd have been
I was
like,
like, yeah, ready, I'm
I'd
ready
have
to
been
go,
like,
bro.
"Yo, let me call you an Uber right now because I'm not having this dragging me down." But
Never, man.
yeah, man, like that was a good time, and we were fasting that day as well,
exactly.
and we seen that really muscular cow as well. Do you remember that cow?
That
Yo.
damn cow. That cow was
Hence-
massive.
Muscular, but
That cow started its New Year's resolutions early.
literally, but good memories, and we walked past Birstall. We were on a dual carriageway at one point as well, if I remember. Yeah. Remember, and we turned into the blossom
A50
trees.
was the
were-
A50,
yeah,
yeah.
A50.
Oh yeah, that was beautiful.
So,
that. And
alhamdulillah.
then you had Adil, you know, taking
Yeah.
this.
Alhamdulillah.
Has to
But
get that quality picture.
Is there
100.
anything you guys want to mention or speak about or bring up in terms of new life resolutions and New Year's resolutions before we conclude and give our one-liners and stuff like that? I'm just giving you guys a chance because I've kind of gone through everything I wanted
Go
to
on
go
now.
through.
For the
We're giving
people
you the
listening
limelight.
out there, right? Just start today. Just start today. Don't think about new year, new me, New Year's resolution. If you want something, start now. You rather have the results straight away rather than waiting for a long time and not, progressing. And obviously stay consistent as well. Don't just like and I'll hit that goal, but I'll fall back. Just stay consistent, even if it's not much, but just have it in your head that I can do it. Just keep consistent. That's it. So that's what I say, really.
Beautiful, man. Well said. If I was to give my own advice to people, the number one advice I'll give to our listeners today is, Islamically, it is said by Salahuddin Ayyubi and by Umar radiallahu anhu, a Muslim is meant to be an excellent person. A Muslim isn't just a person that does things half-heartedly. It's not a person that procrastinates. A Muslim is excellent in every way. Reason being, because in Islam we're given the perfect way to live as human beings. So, if you're Muslim, first and foremost, we don't do New Year's resolutions, but we do lifetime resolutions. Being a Muslim is a way of life. So start implementing that excellence straight away. Always aspire for excellence. So you're currently overweight. I'll be honest with you, it's not Islamic to be overweight. This body is a temple. It's been given to us from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as a gift, as a loan. So let me tell you now, start tracking your excellence. Am I being excellent at work? Am I being excellent with family? Am I being excellent with friendships? Am I being excellent with the way I take care of my body, this body that's been loaned to me? Am I excellent in my character, my akhlaq? Have I upset someone? If I have, I've not been excellent. An excellent person knows exactly how to be compassionate, empathetic, soft and caring, but also firm and loving. Start aspiring for this excellence. So don't just focus on the small things and the day-to-day generic vain things. Focus on your Islam, your prayer. Am I being excellent with my communication with Allah? Because if you want something in life and you're not praying your salah, you're not getting 100%. It. So start that and start working on everything else and go for that excellence.
Yeah, go for the spiritual, inshallah. Go for the spirituality. Go for the. I wish we could, man, but it's hanging from the desk. But I've got goosebumps listening to that. SubhanAllah. Like, yeah, focus on your relationship with your God and your religion and your spirituality. Focus on the things that actually give you happiness and will get you to those goals. Or how you put other things before the source that gives you those answers, those bucket lists, those things that you want. How you put anything else before that? It doesn't make any sense. Of course. There's ignorance and there's times when you slack, you're not on the peak anymore, but it's that realization, and inshallah this radio show was the realization for you. My 2p is that having that self-belief, like you need to believe in yourself, genuinely need to tell yourself that you can do it, let alone making there's people that don't even make New Year's resolutions or life resolutions or plans because they don't believe in themselves enough. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, people don't even believe in themselves. That I can't even think about sitting down and writing goals because I am not capable of doing that. But you're valuable. You're so valuable. Do you know what I mean? You're so valuable as a human. You contribute to this society in ways you don't think you do. Just because we're on a radio show and we're on the face of Instagram and we're doing this and you do boxing and, you know, Ali was amazing with his creativity and fashion, that you think we're different or we're top tier. There's no top tier. Like, Allah created us so equal. Exactly. And anything we do, you can make a resolution.
Everyone's special.
You can and you inspire people and you change people's lives in certain ways that you could never think that you could do in any way, shape or form. I wouldn't think I'd been in radio shows 4 or 5 years ago. So I put myself out there in front of Adu. I told Adu, let's do something together. We formed Waves of Positivity. We've inspired people to do certain things because of what we do. We raised almost £40,000 for charity in Ramadan, which you were helping out with us as well, and not by ourselves, by so many people that never done charity before, that never fundraised before, people that never posted a video of themselves speaking before. But it's what you implement and what you tell yourself you can do, and putting that self-belief that I can do this. Mindset over everything. Mindset over everything. If you don't have that mindset, you're not doing that, you won't be able to take the action on doing it. So if you haven't thought about New Year's resolutions, new life resolutions, any goals you want to make today, next week, the week after, habits you want to drop, attitudes you want to stop, character you want to gain, if you haven't done it, I genuinely believe in you that you can do that. And I would love to hear what you guys have planned after this radio show. If it's inspired you to do anything small, it could be anything, do not be embarrassed. Message us, let us know, because we want to know that we're making an impact as well, right, Adil? And we want to make sure we're making an impact as well, so let us know.
Yeah, perfect way. You want to be held accountable, send it through to the WhatsApp group chat, and we'll know the Waves of Positivity DM, and we will message you every week to find out whether you're still on top of it. Lifetime resolutions. 100. How about that?
Speaking of radio shows, for example, what we're saying right now about radio shows, you're shouting me out literally last minute. You know what I mean? Like the live Instagram. Tell me like weeks advance. Radio show told me about it 2 days ago. I could have easily been like, oh no, I'm not ready for this. But I thought, you know what? Just to break through that, just to grow that confidence, just do it straight away.
Love that. And you've got that. I wouldn't think of you any otherwise, to be honest. I didn't expect to know unless you're genuinely busy. Like the Instagram live, you haven't done a live like that before, have you?
No, never.
So that's why I was saying that when I got you on that live and I gave you feedback as well, I was like, you're going to be ready for a podcast or radio show soon, so just be ready when I hit you up. So as soon as you've done a live with us, you're like warm Waves of Positivity audience. Like, we know you are capable to jump in front of a camera and speak.
I could have easily said, no, I wanna grow my confidence first, but I thought, you know what, just get it over and done with.
100%. 100%. No, just
Don't
like
start
honestly.
now, then wait.
Yeah, honestly, can't thank you enough for coming onto the show. As I said, you're an
Respect,
inspiration yourself.
Thank you for having me, man, on the show, man. It means
You're
a lot,
welcome.
man.
We needed value, and we thought you'd be the perfect fit for
Appreciate
New Year
it, man.
Life resolutions because of your training, your coaching, the changing the youth. You know, the boxing sessions you do, getting the kids off the streets. Love that, and you work in behaviour school as well. So it's not even like you just do
Starting a
part
new
of it.
project
It's
soon
like it's your
anyways.
life. Yeah, inshallah,
And,
inshallah.
Obviously, on the Saturday, anyone can come in for a quid. Just it's not gonna be, how do you say, like a therapist. I'm not a qualified therapist. Just for people who want to speak to someone. For example, like sometimes you can't speak to your family or your own friends, but sometimes when you talk to a stranger, it's weird. I don't know if about you guys, but sometimes when you talk to a random stranger, it helps a bit sometimes. So if they talk to a random person, for example, boxing is like a bonus, you know what I mean? But when they speak to someone, obviously hitting the bag, they might feel better about themselves. You know what I mean? Letting out some steam.
Can you just plug where your place is and what you like, where you do it, and what like usual
so my
classes,
place,
and where people can find you as well?
So
Yeah?
a guy, his name is Avi. He's the main guy. I'm just the lead boxing coach. It's called Knockout Fight Academy. It's located in Cora Works Building. It's near St Mark's Bus Station. You'll find the address on my Instagram page or Knockout Fight Academy's page. It's a massive place. It's got loads of punch bags. It's got a weights area, pool table, kitchen where we cook healthy meals. There's a TV there. We're gonna have a wall-to-wall screen soon. So for obviously kids as well, kids can come. As well as working out, they can just chill, relax, play pool. You know, just keep a nice, fresh mind.
Like a partial youth centre, basically.
Exactly, yeah.
Mashallah, that's honestly that's amazing, man.
Because I'm not really had.
We need to collaborate with them, Adil. We need to collaborate with them. Do something.
I'm not really had a great of a childhood. You know what I mean? I wanna give back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wanna better other kids' childhood.
Yeah, definitely.
You know.
Definitely, that's what Ebby says as well. He says because he's become a teacher because he wishes that as a child he had someone like himself.
I've never had that support.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you're saying right now.
A father figure. I've never had a father figure. You know what I mean? I'd rather give either a big brother figure or a father figure to,
or uncle figure more time,
or uncle figure as well to the young generation. You know what I mean? I've never had it, so I'd rather give it to someone else.
Love that, bro. Like honestly, you're such a gem on this show, subhanallah.
Thank you, bro.
So just to closing remarks, just want to say thank you to Nav Musa for coming on as a guest for our probably last show of the year. See you next year. But yeah, you're listening to us on Ramadan. Radio Zero, sorry, so I was tongue twisted there. Radio Zero, community radio station, 1575 AM, live 24/7. But this is the Waves of Positivity show with your host Sully today. Waves of Positivity, a community company, so do follow us on Instagram at Waves of Positivity Official, Twitter WAP Official _, YouTube, Spotify, our podcasts are all on there. Catch up with us for our charity shows, our charity sessions. We also do a lot of workshops, a lot of fun events, go-karting, stuff like that. Get the people involved, get the community involved here from your home in Leicester. And honestly, thank you guys so much for listening today, tuning in, and we will make a podcast episode from this, hopefully releasing before the end of the year, so it makes sense rather than releasing it midway through 2022. But yeah, Jazakallah, listening to the Roots of Righteous Character, #Making Waves podcast by Waves of Positivity, live on Radio Sira. Thank you so much, guys. Have a brilliant evening. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.